Morbid thoughts filled Macbeth's head. He rushed outside to gather his wits, his conscience screaming to call it quits. Banquo stood in the dim light. Macbeth's arrival gave him a fright.
"Who's there?"
"A friend,"
said Macbeth.
Do not despair."
Banquo relaxed.
"I've been with the king. He sends to your wife this huge time drink."
Macbeth felt disgust at the thought of his crime.
"We could have done better if we had more time.
I dreamt of the sisters.
I think one of them."
We'll speak.
Pardon?
We'll speak.
"We'll speak on this on a further date, but let's get some rest. It's very late."
Macbeth stood alone and gazed into space. A tormented look came over his face. He saw a sight he couldn't believe and staggered back.
My eye to deceive.
A blood-stained dagger hung in midair, twisting, turning, and taunting him there. He lunged for it, yet his fingers passed through.
Oh, what in the world am I to do? This false creation holds its power over my brain. Yet I waste my breath. The deed must be fulfilled. With too many words, intentions are killed.
Just then, a bell tolled from the keep. Macbeth shivered.
I hope I don't get to sleep.
The summons filled his veins with fire and beckoned him to achieve his desires. He crept like a shadow down a long, gloomy hall, his mind no longer his at all. His wife waited below, bold with greed.
I've done my part. He's about to leave.
The weapons were ready. Everything was intact. All that remained was the final act. Macbeth returned, a ghastly white.
This is indeed a sorry sight. These hands have taken the life of our king. Nothing will heal the burning stain. Through his chambers I gave free. A voice cried, Macbeth doth murder sleep. It was a sound I did abhor, and yet it cried, sleep no more.
Lady Macbeth scoffed.
Just let it be.
Her husband replied,
I will never be free.
for in his efforts to reach his goal, Macbeth had murdered his very soul. His lady began to lose her cool.
Why are you carrying the daggers? You full their evidence.
She continued to fume.
You ought to have left them in your room. Go spare the blood on these substance. The least of the dead man's life. Hurry now, or they'll be missed.
Macbeth shook his head.
I'll go no more. What I have done I do deplore.
Then I'll do the job. I'll take part of it.
She seized the daggers and quickly departed. Macbeth heard knocking at the south gate. It shattered the silence and did not abate. He trembled with fear and paced to and fro.
Why does each noise appall me so?
Then his wife returned, her hands all red.
They're of your color.
The lady said,
We'll scrub and scour our hands over it. Though his blood will never be clean.
the knocking continued at the castle gate. The porter was in quite a state. Finally, he staggered out of his chair.
Who in the devil's name is there? I'll open the door. I've had enough.
There stood Lennox and the great Macduff.
Good fellow.
Cried Macduff,
You're quite a sight.
We've been carousing, my lord, until late last night.
We're here
said Macduff.
to wake up the king.
In strode Macbeth. These words did sting.
Welcome.
He smiled.
I'll be your guide.
We're grateful for that.
Macduff replied. Macbeth led the way, his mind sunk in gloom. He tried to sound cheerful.
Here's the room.
Thanks again.
Said Macduff in a friendly tone.
I'll take the liberty to go alone.
Out in the hall, Lennox chatted away.
Does His Majesty depart today? And was it a dreadful night? The ground shook and trembled with fright. When we slept, our chimneys were going down, and mortal cries were going up. The air was choked with sounds from the dead. This was a rough night.
Macbeth quietly said. A deafening scream pierced the air. Macduff reeled from the chamber there.
Oh, horror, horror! King Duncan is dead! Murder, treason!
He cried in dread.
Approach the king's room, destroy your sight with cruelty of this plight.
Macbeth and Lennox hastened through the door. Macduff continued to implore.
Awake, awake! Sound the alarm! Who would do our king such a harm?
His voice thundered through the walls. Nobles and servants rushed into the halls. Bells rang out and torches flared. Lady Macbeth dashed in looking scared.
Macduff,
She screamed.
tell me, I pray, what is the cause of your dismay? O gentle lady,
Was Duff's retort.
'tis not for you the sad report.
Then in a daze he saw Banquo, his friend.
His Majesty was murdered as he slept. King Duncan was murdered as he slept.
Oh, villainous crime.
Banquo wept. Macbeth said,
What is it, Mom?
Life is worthless.
then in came the king's sons, side by side. What is amiss?
What is amiss?
Cried
Your father has been slain.
Malcolm gasped.
Good heavens, no. Who would dare to strike the blow? It appears his guards committed the deed.
The noble Lennox did concede.
Your weapons were bloody. Their eyes were glazed. They stared at us and were amazed. I'm sorry,
Said Macbeth.
but I went on a rampage. I killed them both in my terrible rage.
Macduff faced Macbeth.
You destroyed the fruit, don't you know?
Macbeth's nerves were ready to break. His lady knew that all was at stake. She swayed in a faint.
Help me.
She cried.
Look to the lady.
Macduff complied. As the servants carried her away, Banquo trembled in shock and dismay.
Hear me all. I'll use my power and the guilty shall fall.
Macduff continued.
We'll find who's to blame.
Macbeth agreed.
I'll do the same.
The sons of the king had no time to grieve. For they were getting ready to leave. They whispered their plan in secret fear, worried that someone might overhear. Malcolm shivered in the morning chill.
Whose blood will be the next to spill? Our father's murder is not known, and I am his heir in line for the throne. The lords will show grief, but is it real, or do they hide what they really feel?
There's daggers and spears.
There's dangers and smiles.
Donald Bacon agreed. Danger lurks here.
Danger looks here.
We better take heed.
Better than he.
It would be no use
There be no use.
to kill one of us
No one of us
without the other. We'll separate
will separate
and say farewell
and say farewell.
to avoid
To avoid
our own death now.
our own death.
I will to Ireland,
I will to Ireland
quickly run.
quickly.
To England I'll journey.
Malcolm complied. The two embraced, broken-hearted, and within the hour they had departed. And so the day passed, overwhelmed in gloom. An old man and Ross spoke a great doom.
In all my years I must confess I haven't seen dire distress.
Time tells us
Said Ross.
that day has begun. The darkness remains until the sun.
Macduff appeared.
A mischief spread for the sons of the king have fled. Macbeth will be king, the nobles will not be denied.
Indeed, Macduff's words proved to be true. At Scone, Macbeth made his royal debut. Banquo thought,
Now all's fulfilled, just as the fateful three had willed. First Glamis, then Connor, and finally King. My friend Macbeth rules everything, but I fear he played valor to take the crown, and I can bring him trembling down.
Macbeth arrived looking regal indeed.
A feast is kind, Banquo. Your presence we need. Do you take your son fleets riding today?
Yes, Your Majesty, and we mustn't delay our return for supper of state.
Macbeth thanked Banquo.
Please don't be late.
As Banquo departed, Macbeth paced the floor.
There is not a man who I fear more. His sons will rule, the witches have shown, and my life is empty with no heir to the throne. Have I stayed my soul for Banquo's gang? Never!
He cried.
I will challenge this fate.
Then two ragged men arrived at his gate. He told these murderers to ride very fast.
If I'm to stay king, they both must die.
We'll do that, like the wind will fly.
For the royal couple, there was no peace of mind. They now lived in terror and couldn't unwind. The lady sighed.
You've achieved our desire, yet now you live in dread of what may spot. Macbeth, why do you stand alone? What's done is done. You have the throne.
To treason and turmoil, I am resigned. Banquo still lives, so I must proceed. But dear, strike the innocent of the deed.
Come, my good husband, be friendly and right. Enjoy your party and just snack.
And at the feast, he was the perfect host. Macbeth rose from his chair.
ghost.
Out of the corner of Macbeth's eye, he spotted the murderers cold and sly. He left the table then and there to inquire about the grim affair.
Is that blood upon your face?
Yes, indeed, 'tis beggars your grace. He died from the wounds to his head. But I'm sorry to say, young Fleance has fled.
Macbeth was distressed, that was plain. Fear and resentment gripped his brain. Said Ross,
If you're able to go to super
I'd love to.
said Macbeth.
But where? There seems to be no vacant chair.
Lennox replied.
Here's the spot, Your Majesty. Why do you look so distraught?
Macbeth had turned a deathly white. He shook and trembled at the sight. Bloody Banquo was in his place, a dreadful look upon his face. The lords of the table saw nothing at all. Macbeth shuddered and backed to the wall.
I'm not to blame, can't you see? Shake not thy gory locks at me.
Ross leapt to his feet.
His Highness is ill.
Lady Macbeth cried,
Gentlemen, be still. He's had these attacks since he was a lad. It makes it appear he's going mad. Sit, worthy friends, I pray you remain. As a new king, he's under great strain.
She took him aside.
You are a fool. My husband, you are a stool. For shame.
She hissed.
Show your man. Fight the table. Stick to our plan.
The ghost dissolved into the air. The lords were astonished, waiting there. Macbeth strained hard to collect his wits.
I am prone to these fits. Happiness and cheer I do bestow.
He raised his glass.
Beloved Banquo,
Then he shrank back in dismay.
begone, leave me alone this day. I'll approach like a tiger or a bear in the night. I'm not afraid if I can fight.
Once again, the ghost's visit was brief.
He's disappeared.
Macbeth sighed with relief. Lady Macbeth announced.
The party is done.
The guests left slowly,